The most important factor in your success, how relationships you build move your life forward. I want to share something that Sourena has mentioned before. What if I told you that the single biggest factor determining your success has nothing to do with your intelligence, your resources, your education, or even your work ethic? Would you believe us? It has everything to do with your ability to build the right relationships. Most people get this completely wrong, right? There are two approaches that people do all the time, and it just doesn't work, right? One is they treat relationships like transactions. What do I get out of this? What do I have to put in to get this stuff out of it? And that's not really what a relationship is all about. The other one is they let emotions make every decision. It's all emotional decision making when it comes to relationship. And that doesn't yield very good results either. Both of these approaches will cost you. So today we're going to show you how to build a relationship that actually moves your life forward, how to read people clearly, how to protect your reputation in the process, and how to create the kind of team around you that turns your biggest goals into reality.
I have amazing people in my life.
Sourena has amazing people in his life.
She language within my video. Building art. The people in my life did not come by accident.
By accident.
I had to build each one.
He had to build
one at a time. And Chris will take it out.
And I'm going to tell you how.
Take it away, Chris.
I'm taking it away. These videos are a collaboration. Sourena, who has cerebral palsy, develops the written material, and I present it on camera. Sourena's story was his greatest teacher. As you probably know, Sourena has a disability. He has severe cerebral palsy that affects every aspect of his life. His ability to move, his ability to speak, literally every aspect of his life. But honestly, Sourena will tell you that it is the greatest teacher he's ever had. Because of all these challenges you and I will never face, he had to learn every day that he could not do things alone, right? He had to figure out how to recruit the right people in his life to help him what needs to happen, right? How to understand him and how to show them why having them in a corner is such an important thing, right? Many of us try to go about things alone. We don't take the time to do it. Well, Sourena was forced to do this. And as I said, it was one of the greatest teachers he's ever had. What Sourena discovered through this process is something that every high achiever learns at some point, but oftentimes they learn the hard way. The quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life. End of story, period. That's it. The quality of your relationships determine the quality of your life. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through some of Sourena's approaches to the mindset and some of the practical tools that he'll share with you that you need to build a team around you that makes success almost inevitable. Why we get people wrong, how emotions distort our perception of other people, and what it costs us. The moment you meet someone, right, that initial moment, that first impression, emotions immediately take over. Part of that's the way we're wired. We have to have initial judgments on people from a fight or flight standpoint, right? So that's a natural thing to do, right? But our emotions take over. You develop an instant attachment. You filter everything through your own personal narrative. In that first 10 seconds of meeting somebody, you've already made all these decisions about this person, whether they're accurate or not. And this happens whether you're on a first date, whether you're interviewing somebody to be a part of your team, whether you're looking for a business partner or a coach or anything like that, right? But oftentimes the feelings cloud your judgment. As Maya Angelou said, when someone tells you who they are, believe them, right? Think about how many times you've ignored that signal, how many times you made excuses for other people's behavior. They're just going through a tough time, or only to look back years later and realize they've been showing you exactly who they are this whole time. We've all experienced that. We've all been there. And your job is not to project who you want someone to be. Your job is to see people as they actually are. And that is so crucial in successful relationship building. This starts with getting your emotions out of the driver's seat. How to actually read people. Actions, not words, reveal character. Watch what they do, not what they say. How do they handle a setback? How do they treat people who can't do anything for them? The server in the restaurant, the person at the hotel checking them in, the assistant in the lobby. How do they talk about challenges? Do they take responsibility, or do they always have an excuse? Sourena's disability pushed him to develop this skill in a big way. He had to study how people survived. And what he learned is that everyone is carrying something. It may not be the disability that Sourena is carrying, right? But we're all carrying some things that are challenging for us that we've got to figure out how to deal with. But when you approach others with that understanding, you stop judging and start seeing, right? That shift alone will transform every single relationship in your life. So observe before you decide, right? Give people real situations to respond to and then pay attention. What you see is your data. Your reputation is always working. Doors open and close based on your reputation, even when you're not in the room. Right now, people are making decisions about you, whether you're there or not, right? You're not in the room, but people are out there talking about you in every sort of circle in your life, whether it's personal or professional, right? It's that manager who's deciding whether or not to give the next project they have to you. Someone is recapping your first date with them to their best friend. A potential partner is asking around about you. Everything you do, how you handle pressure, how you treat others, how you show up when things get difficult, that's either building or eroding your relationship. The qualities that actually matter, specific traits that will either someone will contribute or detract from your success. When Sourena assesses relationships, whether personal or professional, he looks for a few things. One, the locus of control, right? Do they believe their actions actually influence the outcomes? Someone who is always a victim of circumstances will drag you into that story whether you like it or not. Someone who owns their outcomes will push you to yours, right? Two, he looks for personal responsibility. His disability is not his fault, but it's his responsibility. There will always be things outside of all of our control, but that doesn't mean it removes your obligation to have to deal with them. I want that standard around me. Sourena wants that standard around me, and he wants to demonstrate that to others. Three, his philosophy on growth, right? Do they invest in themselves? Do they learn from setbacks? Do they understand nuance? Or do they see a world full of rigid black and white, right? These things matter enormously over the long haul. So look for these traits in others and build them in yourself. That's how you create a circle that lifts everybody together. If you enjoy this content, make sure that you download Sourena's ebook, 5 Keys to an Amazing Mindset, by clicking on the link in the description. And also, please like, comment, and share. Be honest about roles. Not everyone is going to play the same role in your life. Some people will be close, trusted advisors. Others will be more casual connections. Some people will be there for the long haul. Other people will come and go. And that's healthy, and that's normal. You just have to understand and accept that. But the key is to be honest about that with yourself and with them. Accept people as they are. Set a standard. When that standard isn't met, adjust the role, not your standards. Ask, how do we win together before you ever ask, what can I get? This mindset will attract extraordinary people into your orbit. Building the team that changes everything. The right relationships are the difference between average results and extraordinary results. Think about what it would mean to have the right people in your life. Somebody tells you the truth, what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, right? Somebody who has your back when things get challenging or when things fall apart. Someone who pushes you to be better without tearing you down. The wrong relationships cost you time, energy, emotion, and momentum that sometimes you can never get back. The right ones will take you places that you genuinely would never get to alone. That team doesn't happen by accident, right? Be intentional. Build your team on purpose. If you build it intentionally over time with the skills we've been talking about, that's what's going to lead you to the next level of success. So Sourena wants to leave you with 3 things. 1, see people clearly. Do not let emotions take over. You got to cut through that emotional fog, and you got to see people for who they actually are, right? Actions speak louder than words. There may not be a bigger cliche in the world, but that one has so much meaning and so much accuracy. 2, protect your reputation fiercely. Again, people are talking about you all the time, whether you like it or not, in all sorts of different circles. There are decisions being made about you without you in the room. So building and maintaining and protecting that reputation are crucial if you want to build the relationships you need in order to be successful. And then build to win together, right? The goal is mutual value. A relationship never lasts, never succeeds, and never reaches its full potential if it's one-sided. So find people that make that possible, where it is a win-win. It is we, not I. Your relationships are one of the most powerful levels in life. So pull that lever with intention. So if this hits home, drop a comment, drop a like, share this. And in the comments, share what is one relationship in your life that has had the biggest positive impact in your success. Sourena generally wants to know. And if you're not subscribed yet, do that now. We're building something special here, and we want to build it with you together. And we will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, and I'm sure that you did, make sure you like it, share it, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel.